What happens to humanity when AI can do everything? It's the question nobody wants to say out loud. But it's there every time another industry gets automated overnight. The honest answer is that most of what humans do for a living right now will eventually be done by machines faster than anyone expects. But there are 6 things AI cannot do and never will, no matter how powerful the technology gets. And by the end, you'll know exactly where to invest the next 10 years of your life to stay ahead where no AI model, present or future, can ever replace you. And this video is about those 6 things. There's a skill almost nobody talks about, but every expert in every field has it. It's called taste. It's what a chef has when he tastes a dish once and knows it's done. It's what a film editor has when he moves the cut 3 frames earlier and cannot explain why. It's what makes Rick Rubin one of the most successful music producers in history. Even though he can barely play an instrument, he actually said this in an interview.
I know nothing about music.
AI is now trying to do this with music. Suno and Udio can generate a full song in any genre in less than a minute. In a recent blind test, 90% of listeners couldn't tell which songs were made by humans. But the longer producers use these tools, the more they notice the same thing. The songs all start to sound the same. A 2024 research paper explains why. They call it preference collapse. When you train AI on millions of human preferences, the model converges toward what most people like on average. Everything outside of that average gets erased, which is basically the opposite of what taste actually is. Taste isn't the average of what everyone likes. It's the residue of one specific person's life. Every studio Rick Rubin has stood in, every artist he's worked with across 40 years, all of it compresses into something nobody else can ever copy. It's also the same thing that made Steve Jobs build Apple by feel rather than by the performance of its devices. A machine can make music that sounds good, but sounding good isn't the same as being made with taste. The second thing AI cannot do is anything that requires a body operating in the real physical world. The electrician rewiring a house built in 1932. The plumber working under a sink in a very small space. The mechanic listening to an engine and knowing exactly which bolt is loose. This is the most underrated category of work in the AI economy, and it's also the one with the most actionable advice attached to it. Here's the data. The US Bureau of Labor Statistics projects electrician jobs will grow close to 10% over the next decade. HVAC technicians, 8%. A 2026 JLL report estimates that by 2030, there will be more than 2 million unfilled skilled trades positions in the United States alone, with potential economic losses of up to $1 trillion a year. AI is now trying to enter this space. Figure AI has deployed humanoid robots at a BMW plant in South Carolina. Over 11 months, they handle more than 90,000 sheet metal parts with over 99 placement accuracy. Tesla and Boston Dynamics are racing towards general-purpose humanoid robots, with new entrants joining every quarter. But there's a reason this is so much harder than it looks. It's called Moravec's paradox. In 1988, AI researcher Hans Moravec noticed something strange. The things that seem hardest to humans, such as chess or complex math, turned out to be easiest for machines. And the things that seem easiest to humans, such as walking on uneven ground, picking up a coffee cup off a table, turned out to be the hardest for the machines. Rodney Brooks, who spent 40 years at MIT building robots, put it bluntly in his 2026 predictions. Deployable robotic dexterity in messy environments will remain, in his word, pathetic beyond 2036. But it's worth saying that humanoid robots have advanced faster in the last 2 years than in the previous 20. 3 years ago, the best demos showed a robot opening a door. Today, Figure 02 is assembling parts on a real BMW production line, and 1X units doing laundry in beta-tested homes. The 2036 timeline might be conservative, but the gap between a factory floor and a 1932 house is still enormous. Yann LeCun, one of the so-called godfathers of AI, says it more directly. Current AI is dumber than a house cat navigating the physical world. The electrician will be fine, so will the mechanic. The white-collar consultant who thought they were safe, that's the one who should be paying attention. The third thing AI cannot do is make the right call when the data is incomplete and the situation is unfamiliar. This is the hardest skill to name because most jobs disguise it as something else. But it's everywhere. The ER doctor deciding which of two critical patients to treat first when neither of them matches the textbook. The manager who passes on the candidate everyone loves because something about them feels off, and it turns out to be the right call. What these people have in common is not intelligence. It's something economists call judgment under uncertainty. And it's the ability to make a decision when the rules don't tell you what to do. Atul Gawande, surgeon and writer, he put it this way: medicine's ground state is uncertainty. The same is true for any senior role in a complex domain. AI is excellent at the opposite of this. Inside of a clearly defined problem, AI is now better than most humans. AI radiology systems outperform humans on specific scans. AI legal tools draft contracts faster than first-year associates. But there's a structural problem that shows up again and again in research. AI is dangerously confident when it's wrong on novel cases. A 2025 study in Diagnostics analyzed almost 7,000 AI-assisted cardiovascular decisions and found that the system was confidently incorrect specifically on the edge cases, exactly the cases where human judgment was needed the most. This is not a bug that AI can just engineer away. It's just how technology works. AI optimizes inside of a problem space someone has already defined. Humans define which problem space they are in. That's the difference. We actually have a benchmark that proves this. It's called ARC-AGI-3. It's a test designed specifically to measure fluid reasoning, the ability to figure out a new problem you've never seen before. Humans score 100% on this test. The most advanced AI models in the world by 2026 score less than 1%. An AI model can solve every problem in the training set, but only a human can recognize they are inside of a problem nobody trained for. That is not the same skill. The fourth thing AI cannot do is to convince another person of something hard in person when the stakes are high. This happens when a founder walks into a room of investors and walks out with a check, or maybe when a salesperson closes a deal, or when two people negotiate the price of a house or the terms of a job that will shape your next decade. There's research on exactly how big this gap is. In 2017, two researchers at Western University ran a study comparing face-to-face requests against email requests. The face-to-face version was 34 times more effective at getting a yes. The reason is not what most people think. It's not charisma, it's that humans pick up signals in person that you cannot transmit through text. Micro-expressions, vocal warmth, that small pause before someone answers the question they don't want to answer. These signals decide whether you trust the person next to you, and trust decides whether deals close. AI is now flooding the early stages of sales. We have tools such as Salesforce and 11x.ai. They can run cold outreach at a scale no human team could ever match. Personalizing emails, booking meetings, following up without ever getting tired. This is real and it's working right now as you're watching this video. AI is genuinely good at the top of the funnel. But here's what every single B2B sales leader will tell you. The AI gets the meeting, but a human will close the deal. In a recent HubSpot survey, 59% of sales reps said they were concerned that AI would make their job obsolete. But the same data shows something much more interesting. The reps whose jobs are actually at risk are the ones doing volume outreach. The reps that are closing complex deals and negotiating high-stakes contracts, they've never been more valuable. Chris Voss, the former FBI hostage negotiator and the author of Never Split the Difference, says it directly. Negotiation is not about logic. It's about emotional attunement to the person across from you. AI cannot be across from you. An AI model can write you a perfect cold email, but only a human can change someone's mind in a room. The fifth thing an AI cannot do is to be the person other humans choose to follow. This is leadership. The team lead whose presence in a meeting changes how everyone else behaves. The founder whose belief in a vision pulls 30 other people to bet 5 years of their lives on it. Google ran a 4-year study of what makes a great manager. It's called Project Oxygen. They expected to find that technical skills matters most, and they actually found the opposite. The best managers were defined by emotional intelligence and the willingness to have hard conversations. And none of these are skills that you can just offboard to an AI tool. AI is now everywhere in the management layer. Lattice and Gloat run AI-powered performance reviews. Microsoft Copilot summarizes every meeting and then drafts difficult feedback for you. They handle all of the admin layer of management, and they do it well. But the part of leadership that actually matters cannot be delegated to software. When a company is about to lay off a third of its workforce, somebody has to stand in front of the room and say it. When two senior people are in a conflict that's poisoning the entire organization, somebody has to walk in the room and resolve it. These are not simple tasks. They are moments when another human is looking at you and decides whether you're worth following. Bill Campbell, the executive coach who mentored Steve Jobs and most of Silicon Valley's top operators, said it simply: to care about people, you have to actually care about people. An AI model can summarize a meeting, but only a human can be the reason that meeting matters. And honestly, this is where AI is genuinely useful today. Not for replacing the leader, but for freeing them up to actually lead. It's the whole reason I've been using a tool called Adapt for the past few months. Pulls live data from every single tool that my team runs on, drafts the reports nobody wants to write, and turns half a day of difficult work into just a Slack message. The admin layer of my job basically runs itself now, which means that the actual work, the part that needs a human, gets more time. You can start for free at adapt.com. The link is in the description. The sixth thing AI cannot do is to see what nobody else sees. This is actually the rarest skill on the list. And it's also the most valuable one. It's what every contrarian founder and breakthrough investor have in common. They saw something that the consensus said was wrong, and they were right. Sarah Blakely started Spanx with $5,000 when every expert in the industry told her that the product wouldn't sell. Michael Burry bet against the housing market in 2007 when every bank in the world said he was crazy. In each case, the person was alone. The data did not support them. The crowd was on the other side, and they were right anyway. This is the one thing AI is structurally incapable of doing, and here's why. Every AI model in existence is trained on what humans have already written and already said. Then it generates outputs that fit inside of that average. This is the same mechanism we talked about in the first segment of this video, preference collapse. But of course, it's applied to ideas instead of music. Researchers have actually started measuring this. A 2024 study found that when groups of people brainstorm with AI, the ideas become more numerous but less diverse. The outputs cluster around the same handful of concepts. A 2025 study published in Frontiers in Artificial Intelligence found that LLMs reduce the variety of solutions a team produces, even when each solution looks creative in isolation. AI makes more ideas. It doesn't make more kinds of ideas. Peter Thiel built his entire career on one single question. What important truth do very few people agree with you on? The answer to that question cannot come from an AI model trained on what most people already believe. It can only come from a person who has the conviction to be alone in their thinking and the patience to wait until the world catches up. An AI model can recombine every single idea humans ever had, but only a person can have one idea that nobody has ever had. So, 6 things AI cannot do: taste, skilled physical work, judgment under ambiguity, selling face-to-face, building and leading people, and finally, original thinking. Take a look at them together and notice something. None of them are jobs. None of them are skills you can just take a course on and graduate. They are not even capabilities in the way AI researchers use the word. They are properties of being a particular human living a particular life. AI can process the data on each and every one of these. But AI was never the data. A person was. And that is the line that holds, no matter how powerful the technology will ever get. Humans are the source. AI models are just the average of that source. Which brings us to the real point of this video. If you spend the next 10 years trying to compete with AI on its own terrain, speed, memory, breadth of knowledge, output volume, that race is already over. You are never going to win that anyway. But if you spend the next 10 years developing the 6 things in this video, you become something AI cannot replace. Because you are a particular person who has lived a particular life. And the value of that just went up. The last thing only humans can do is to be a human. Thank you for watching. Until next time.